welcome to another episode of Rap in Order. I'm First Class Regg.
And I'm Taurian B.
How we feeling today, sir?
I'm feeling good, man. This is a good month. We just came off of Black History Month, and now we're going into Women's Month.
Women's Month, yes, for sure. International Women's Day just passed. Everybody was trying to be like, oh, remind your mom or tell your mom you love her. And I'm like, nigga, like I do that every day. What are you talking about?
I told
My mom don't even know what International Women's Day is.
Yeah, I told my mom that, and she was like, what? They just make up anything. And I was like, Mom, you can't say that.
Well, no, yeah. International Women's Month or Day has been around since like the 1800s.
I thought it was 1958. No, it's in 1958.
Was it 1958?
Yeah, let me Google it real quick. This nigga said the 1800s. You're right. Women couldn't even vote. Women couldn't even pay bills.
Okay. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. So I know it's been around.
Let me see. Women's Month. Let's see, like when it was created.
Well, no, you're not looking up.
So what I'm looking up Women's Month.
Look up International Women's Day.
Okay, Women's Month was started in February of 1980.
1980. Okay.
That's so like let's see Women's Day.
Not 18, but you know, I had 8 something.
No, Reg. Women weren't even allowed to pay bills.
1909.
1909.
I wasn't too far off.
Reg.
1909.
Come on, Reg.
I'm like 10 years off.
And I don't even feel like that day was really acknowledged like that.
It wasn't, yeah. Until like, honestly, bro, like until like the boom of social media, I would say. When social media started like kicking up.
I don't think women was getting they just do for a very long time.
Yeah. And you know, and it's still an uphill battle, right? So like, but it was a day to acknowledge all the great women in our lives. And if you haven't been doing that and you needed a day to validate that, you know, you probably need to rework some things in your life.
Yeah. All right. So you want to talk about music or you want to talk about some messy shit?
We can get to either or, but I was gonna say,
okay.
So I've been watching. Well, first, I guess this kind of goes with messy shit, so I'll table that. But I recently got hooked on FanDuel.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
All right.
So I should probably talk to Sarah about that.
Okay.
Is she on FanDuel or Prize Picks?
I don't know. I think it's FanDuel. FanDuel.
So it's like a weird like bonding thing that me and my brother been doing because he's been doing it.
Zeldin or
Zeldin, of course Zeldin. So he'll send me like his picks.
Okay.
And then I'll go from there or like I'll tweak it. So I sent him a pick yesterday for the Lakers game actually. And I was like, and on my picks, I had D-Lo hitting over 25. And he was like, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
LeBron didn't play last night. That was a good bet.
Yeah. And you know, D-Lo hit 44 yesterday.
I'm a Lake, I know.
So he hit me this morning like, yo, he actually did it. But so my bet, it was like a 6 or maybe like a 6-7 like parlay. Yeah. I put in like $6, but the turnaround would have been $2,400. So I was on the edge of my fucking seat because everybody was hitting.
Right.
Everybody was hitting.
Who ruined your?
Shit, I forget this dude's name. He's a Laker.
Was it Rui?
What's his last name?
Rui Hachimura.
Yeah. So I had him for two threes. He made 1. Fucked it up for me. And Austin Reeves is always, he's good with threes.
Yeah.
I checked.
Austin Reeves gets you 1.
Yeah.
At least 1.
Yeah. And I had him for 2. So those 2 fucked it up for me. Everybody else hit.
I feel like with Rui, like Rui does these things where like he has like these great games and you're like, all right, cool. Like we got him. And then shit like that'll happen. Like, you know, when LeBron don't play, the team actually plays up because they don't have to, because LeBron sucks the air out of the offense a little bit. So I get it. Like,
but I'm still a very green better guy. So
just
nothing over $10. That's
you and Sarah could talk.
Yeah,
that's all Sarah. I'll be like, yo, just bet $100.
Yeah,
she be like, no,
hell no, I can't do that. I'll do like 5 and I'll see the odds and I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I hit last week for like $200 off of.
I mean, Sarah's in a fucking a Discord and everything. Like,
oh yeah.
Like, I'm like, yo, you paying for a Discord? Like, she's like, I need my money back. I'm like, all right.
Oh, she pays for the Discord.
Yeah, because like like she's trailing legs on people that are winning like thousands of dollars.
Yeah, I found like a low key Twitter page that I went to, and he had like 300 followers, but he shares his bets and they always hit. Like I found out like a few days ago. I was like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah, I actually like to sport, so I don't bet because it makes me like do things. Like one time I found myself like rooting against the Lakers.
Oh yeah, because you got money. Yeah.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing
that. Makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. But all right. So all right. So since we're talking about NBA, Drea Mitchell announced that she is pregnant. She's 8 weeks pregnant.
Michelle.
Is Michelle? Is not Michelle? Drea Michelle. Okay. She's known from Basketball Wives. She's known, for dating a lot of, well, not, I won't say a lot of athletes, but she dated quite a few athletes. And, right now she's pregnant for, I think it's his third year playing the NBA, Jalen Green, who is 21 years old. And I believe like he's either a year younger or at the same age as her oldest son. So people are in outrage. People are upset. People feel like this is grooming. This is, a horrible thing. And yeah, like, I mean, I guess it can be embarrassing. The people were saying that she get into the bag, but I'm just like, technically, like, I mean, all right, let's say it don't work out. She's going to get child support or whatever like that. But I mean, that don't mean that she's like, to me, like, I know some people are like, yo, they get into the bag when they get that. But it's like, I mean, unless they get married, like, she ain't going to get the money. She ain't getting half.
Yeah, but she gonna be better off than what she came into the situation with.
That's true. I mean, her second child is from Orlando Scandrick.
This is her third?
Yeah, this is her third kid. So her oldest son was by a guy, like he went to prison like when he was like a baby and he was like a street dude. And now he lives in, I believe, Pennsylvania. He's a barber. And then her second child was by Orlando Scandrick, and now, Jalen Green. So they're like, yeah, she kept climbing the ladder and shit like that. But it was like, these celebrities in Hollywood, man, like, it's just different things. I get morally for like us, for like the regular people, but these people are rich. Like,
yeah,
I don't like, I'm not saying that is right, but it's just like, I don't know, like these people like in Hollywood, they hang out with each other. Kylie Jenner and fucking Tyga, fucking Russell Simmons and Kamora Lee Simmons. Like, I get it that people say that it's grooming and everything like that. And optically it is grooming, but like rich people, for some reason, they live different lives, man. Like they have like a different code.
I think just lately we've been exposed to so much celebrity shit that, we get a chance to just sit back and just judge it. And then it's weird to them because they just been living like this forever. And it's like, yo, y'all niggas is overreacting when this has always been like this. It's like when Quincy Jones would just tell those stories, right?
Yeah.
Because he just figured everybody knows.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, y'all are tripping over this. This is normal.
Yeah.
That nigga was like, yeah, no. He's like, yeah, Marlon Brando was fucking everything, man.
Yeah.
It's like he's fucking Richard Pryor, Marvin Gaye.
Didn't he say Marlon Brando would have fucked something with a hole in it? Like, didn't he say he would have fucked the door?
He would have fucked the mailbox.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was like, he would have fucked the mailbox. And called it the next day or some shit. Some crazy shit.
Yeah.
But he was just talking. And I think to them, this is just the norm. And for us, it's not. So everything gets dialed up. But, with grooming culture and stuff like that, it's weird because the double standard gets highlighted all the time. And it's like, bro, it's a double standard. I mean, what we going to do? We going to argue about it? I mean, is it going to not exist anymore? Like, it's just always been that way. Like, we've always seen women dating younger men and it being applauded. And then the other way around, that being shunned. We've seen that forever.
But I think that with Drea, like, she's going way too young. I think it's one, she has a son that's the same age. Like, so it's just like, yo, like, what do you find so attractive about this? I get it, like, he's a world-class athlete and everything like that, but like, this nigga will probably be playing video games on, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's
so that's our moral compass. What do you think her circle says?
What her circle says? I'm pretty sure a lot of those women, like, they want to stay as young as possible always.
Like,
so, because, all right, prime example, Bernice Burgos is dating, what's his name? My man from Jaylen Brown from the Celtics. So the age difference isn't that large, but like Jaylen Brown's not 30 yet. And Bernice Burgos, I believe, is in her 40s now.
Yeah.
So and she's a grandmother. So like the age difference, like, it's similar, but it's just that Jaylen Brown isn't 21.
Oh, the youth.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, I just think Like for most people, they're like 25 and up, it don't matter. But I think they look at it like, yo, he's 21, he's about to get so much money because he's about to get like a crazy contract. So they're just like, yo, Drea saw like dollar signs.
Yeah.
But also, Bernice Burgos keeps her shit crazy low. And I don't think Bernice Burgos would get pregnant. I don't think she would ruin that plastic stomach and get pregnant by Jaylen Brown.
I mean, you never know.
You don't.
More money or whatever down the line.
But all right, let's move on to something more positive. So Drake is on the Four Bats remix. When I saw the guy that makes the song, I thought it was a rap song. I didn't know there was like a song of him singing.
That's that's his appeal. That's what he's been doing for a minute. So like he pops up, shiesty mask. That's like how he kind of like got big because he went viral because he popped up with a shiesty on and a bunch of hood niggas around him. The beat drops, everybody's like, okay, let's see what this rap shit about. And he just comes on singing. Everybody's like, oh shit. So that's been a thing he been toying with.
So he took the Jodeci approach and added a little bit more thuggery.
Yeah, pretty much.
How you feel about the song?
I like the original. I don't think I needed Drake on the remix. I see why they got Drake. This is crazy though too, because this dude's third song. He hasn't been around for a minute. It's his third song. And he already got the Drake approach.
How do these guys do it?
Yeah.
Like, I know niggas that's on like they 500th song.
Yeah.
And Drake don't hit it.
And he don't bat an eye. Yeah. But I think it's probably gonna pop up, right? About him being a plant.
Something got it. Like
third song.
Yeah, bro. Like ever, right? Like that's crazy.
Yeah. So like, I mean, I think he also signed a deal with OVO.
So he signed an EP deal. He signed an EP deal, and this is the deal, the same thing that Bad Bunny did. Remember when Birdman was saying that Bad Bunny signed an OVO? That's what he was talking about. Like Bad Bunny, like they signed a single deal. So it's no different than like what like OT Genesis does with Busta Rhymes. They have single deals. That's why like we'll never get an OT Genesis.
Yeah, he don't
need one. But like shout out to OT. But I'm just saying that. Like this is what Birdman was saying, but it's like, yeah, so like technically like, yeah, like you're signed to Drake, like you have a deal because like that piece of music is always going to be on OVO, but you're not signed to him, but that's the semantics around that. So that was pretty cool. Metro and Future gave us a nice trailer. You excited?
I'm very excited.
You were excited for the toxic whatever that they're about to give us.
We Don't Trust You is what it's called. And it comes out the 22nd. And then there's a second one that comes out mid-April.
Yeah.
April 12th.
I like the touch how they used the Prodigy vignette at the beginning. I thought that was really dope. And that was, like my rapper brain started going somewhere because Future is very, very close to True Life. True Life, if you remember, had beef from Mobb Deep. Back in the day. So I was just like, wait a second, I'm trying to do the science.
Yeah. I think so my brain went a different direction. I feel like, do you think did Prodigy like Future?
I don't know.
And when I was listening to it, I'm like, will Prodigy even like this style of rap that Future does?
I don't know. I've seen Prodigy in the club when Future was played and he just smoked a cigarette. He's the only nigga I ever seen smoke a cigarette in the club. And like nobody bothered him, nobody stopped him or nothing.
Yeah, it's
he just stood over. Like it's just crazy though, because it's like we in a club, like there's beautiful women walking around and stuff like that, and you standing in there like you watching up with somebody on the corner. It's fucking weird.
I made keep it thorough.
Yeah,
y'all niggas keep it moving. But I love the trailer. I love the idea of what's to come. I've been waiting for new Future for a minute. Yeah. So that's where I'm at with it. And I know with Metro involved, it's going to be very clean cut and concise in a concept album almost.
Do you think that we're going to get like Drake bars, you think?
You think they beefing still?
I'm not, I know about...
Yeah, we definitely getting Drake bars.
I know about Metro and Drake, right? But apparently there's people that saying that like Future was jealous that he was working with 21 Savage so close.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah, but so there was that, and then also there was somebody else that Drake worked with.
Like did Drake ask Future not to work with do a full length project with Kendrick or somebody? Like why is he so like I don't know. Like why does he feel like he has ownership over collaborative projects?
Yeah, man, I really don't know. But I'm excited for this shit. I don't know how it's gonna go. I know it's gonna be the talk of everything when it comes out. It's coming out at a perfect time, kicking off into spring. Yeah, we're like 8 or 9 days away from spring. I'm so fucking excited.
Okay.
I need it.
All right. Real quick. Who you got? Mike Tyson and Jake Paul.
I've been, I mean, we both love Mike. So like I've been obsessing over Mike Tyson footage the past 2 days. Um, just to like watch it again and then getting into Jake Paul stuff. Jake Paul can fight.
He absolutely can.
He actually can. I'm just nervous for Mike. I got Mike.
I don't even know what I don't understand. Jake Paul and Logan Paul only fight exhibition fights, and I get it. Like it's like fuck it, like let's get this money, fight somebody, whatever. But like, why don't they just fight professionally? Why don't they just get into the ring and just fight professionally?
Because fighting professionally, and this is my assumption, fighting professionally, I think probably takes more discipline than they're willing to give. So they want quick bags. So it's like they can train for those quick bags. And it's a social media way of thinking. Cause it's like you can promote the shit out of it, one and done, and it's done. And then you got your next thing. Oh, okay, that's then. All right, I'm gonna train till then. And then boom, I'm off the map again. I got my big bag. Like it's just quick.
I mean, the funny thing is like these fights don't count, so we're gonna watch them. Like I remember I watched Mike versus Roy Jones Jr. And like you could tell that Roy was like thought it was an exhibition and Mike thought it was a real fight.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean,
running a little.
Yeah, he definitely was. Mike still hits hard. Jake is very young, so we'll see how that goes. I have a theory that it's going to end in some like wild fiasco at the end. It's going to be some like huge fight at the end. And it's not going to be like some normal shit.
Nah, you don't think it's going to be a tie?
I don't. I think the fight's going to be like is just going to get like called off. Like like they're going to fight and some shit's going to happen and like Mike or Logan are going to do too much and they're just going to end the fight like that in chaos. So it's actually in news headlines.
Yeah, I just don't want him to like seriously hurt Mike. I'm gonna be really upset because then it turns into racial. It turns racial from that point for me.
Yeah, that's true. I get it. I understand it. I just think that like I think they're both in on it, and I think that like it's scripted, and at the end, in the last round or whatever round, is going to be the card is going to be tied, and then like Mike is going to do something like hit him after the bell, or Jake is going to give like a low blow, and they're going to stop the fight.
We'll
That's
see.
my thoughts.
I might bet on that one too.
Okay, Reg. Let's see. So let's see. I got a few in here, but I can save them for other ones, right? So I'm gonna do one last one. I want to talk about the Shannon Sharp and Steve Stout interview. Did you see any clips or anything from it?
I watched majority of it. I always tune in for Steve Stout interviews, even though he has his air to him that he's like better than everybody.
Yeah,
he maintains that air to him all the time. But it's fun to watch. What about you? What you thought?
I mean, it was a good interview. I just think that Steve's versions of certain things, like certain scenarios or whatever, like that, like is very like dismissive. So it definitely could like piss like a person off. You could tell that like growing up in Queens, he knew he had to like come up with something quick because he had a smart mouth and he was going to probably get hurt really bad. But the one thing that stood out to me was obviously when he spoke about the Rockefeller breakup, which is at this point is kind of annoying because it's like he wasn't even there. He didn't work like obviously he works closely with Jay-Z now or whatever like that. But it's like him giving like his thoughts and kind of like minimizing what Dame did. Like he gave Dame his flowers, but at the same time was like backhanded. And I just think that at this point it's just like everybody keeps saying that like Dame Dash is irrelevant or Dame Dash, is on his last leg. Like everybody has all these comments, but everybody always has something to say about Dame Dash. So to me, like I just like I watch it and I get offended. I'm just like, oh come on, like again, like like I get that Dame has like his antics and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, he did help a lot of people, and he is the reason for like a lot of things that like we have and enjoy now, right? So when I saw like how he pretty much like basically said Dame got in his own way and shit like that, I'm just like, yeah, but like it's been documented that like you were a part of that, like you kind of like quarterbacked it. So I don't know.
Yeah. I respect Steve Stout's business mind, like everything that all the gems he drops and like he adds a lot of he adds a lot of context to the business deals that we knew about from back then,
Yeah, he
which
does.
I thought was really cool.
Yeah,
Like the Will Smith thing with the glasses.
yeah,
He was like, "Yo, Will Smith didn't even." He was like, "But it's from that that I had the confidence to go into the sneaker deals and all
yeah.
of that stuff." I thought that was cool because I didn't
I
think
think
about
that's yeah, I think that's cool too. Him telling that story about the Men in Black, the sunglasses, and how they was able to cut that deal. I thought that was really cool. And it's crazy that nobody thought of that,
that.
right? I think that Steve Stout is like one of those people in the music industry that like is always just going to be like ahead of the curve because like he's pretty much like the bridge to hip hop. So he's always going to be the person like being like, hey, let's get this person and like I do appreciate the fact that whenever like somebody's like on the verge, like he gives them the opportunity. He was there with LeBron, he was there with Drake. Like there's certain things
There
that
with
like
Nas.
you're there with Nas. Like there's people that he's with early on where he knows like something like he has an eye for like, yo, this person going to be one of them ones. And like he gets on board and like does everything to like get them in position and everything like that. Like
Yeah.
him even telling like the Kobe Bryant story and like what they was trying to do with Kobe and everything like that. I think that's like really cool. Like Steve like knows like when something's on the horizon and like what he does. And it makes sense. Like I remember before I was like, since when the fuck did Sprite become the drink of hip hop?
Yeah.
That was him.
Yeah, and just the thought process that he had with the whole Kobe thing, because he was like, "Yo, back then I figured like rappers want to be NBA players, NBA players want to be rappers. Just merge the two. Like that's how you got Allen Iverson and Jadakiss, that commercial,
Yep.
and Kobe rapping, and all of this shit. So
I'm on a hunt for that vinyl.
yeah, I mean, I hope
Kobe.
you find it. I'm gonna look forward to.
Yeah, him and Tyra Banks,
If I
man.
see it, I'll send it to you.
Thank you, sir. Him and
Yeah,
Tyra Banks. But yes, it was just interesting. Like I enjoyed it, but it's just like sometimes we like, come on, man. And obviously Dame responded, and it's just this whole thing.
and he said that's why he slapped him or something.
Yeah, that's why he slapped him a couple years ago. I will say this though. I think I love the fact that everyone knows not to ask Jay-Z these questions.
Yeah, because I mean, you very rarely get Jay-Z to sit down, so it's like you got to pick your questions carefully anyway.
That's true. But it's very interesting to me. Like I would be pretty pissed off too. And the funny thing is like Dame does have interesting shit going on. Like it's not like some people like maybe because he ain't got he actually does have interesting stuff going on. And like, it's just that people want to ask him that and then like we should just
let it go.
We should just let it go. Like breakups happen. The Beatles broke up. The Fugees broke up, got back together. Like, these things happen. EPMD broke up. Like nobody, you wanna know what's funny? No one, whenever people see DMC, no one ever asks him, where's Rev Run?
Yeah, no, they don't. But I think the assumption is just like, shit is just good. They cool. They still show up and do what they got to do. Even though at Hip Hop 50 at Yankee Stadium, they said that was going to be their last performance. They said that.
Okay.
Yeah. So
things happen. I just think sometimes we just gotta let a sleeping dog lie.
Hov was really classy about it, man. Because like I was thinking about it today, just from listening to the JVP earlier. I realized like, yo, he really doesn't even talk about this because when Lost Ones came out, that was him saying his piece.
Spoke his piece on Lost Ones. The Breakfast Club told him about it. Like he spoke about it on the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne when I think that was for the Magna Carta Holy Grail rollout.
Mm-hmm.
And I think on Juan Epstein he talked about it. And I think that was the same press run. And like he didn't have anything bad to say about Dame. He just said like, yo, like we just, we grew apart. Like, he just kept it at that. It wasn't nothing bad to say about Dame. I just, I think for Dame it's just like as friends is like, yo, like talk to me. Like what the hell is going on or whatever like that. And I think that like Jay has too many people around him.
Mm-hmm.
And they know that like the relationship that him and Dame have and they rather them stay apart.
Did you see the report about Dame having like some debt to pay off and they were going to take like his portion of Rockefeller to pay it?
Yeah.
And then Hov stepped in or something like that. Hov
tried to step in and Dame said that I think he declined Jay stepping in.
Of course.
And then Cameron and Mace were on that show talking about that they were possibly going to buy it, but that was cap. That's bullshit. Because it's just like if Dame is like, like who he is to them, then why don't they just give Dame the money? Mm-hmm. Opposed to them buying it and have, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, Dame is going to pay it. Like, I just think that whenever this stuff comes out in the news is like, is whenever someone has a lawsuit or things like that happen, they tell you the worst thing, and then you find out they go to court and their lawyers figure things out, and then everything is all well.
Yeah.
And with Dame, everybody just wants to say that Dame is broke because his old business partner is a billionaire.
Yeah.
And that's always just going to be the case. That's just the same thing as well, it's not the same, but I could say it's like what the owner of the Clippers. The owner of the Clippers, did he help start Microsoft or did he help start Apple? With Microsoft.
I think it's Microsoft.
Yeah. Like Bill Gates is like really, really rich and like famous, and the guy that helped that owns the Clippers now is also really, really rich, but like he's the one that's not talked about as much. Mm-hmm. Even though he's really, really rich.
Yeah.
Like, but let's get into this episode. I just wanted to talk about some things that came up this week.
Yeah, man. So without further ado, so today we're getting into an album from a young lady that really set the trail and kind of set the standard for women in rap very early on in her career, starting in 96. Well, 96 were her debut, but earlier in the 90s she kind of set that trail. And in 96 she made her debut with hardcore, and hardcore kind of set the palette for like how female hip hop would be.
Yep.
And kind of reclaiming how it was looked at, and sexuality and explicit lyrics and all of these things that I couldn't listen to because my mom kept me away from it just off the cover alone. And then, fast forward to 2003. We met her through Biggie, but in 2003 it looked a lot different for her because we met her. I mean, this was her going out on her own. This was her doing things without Big, without C's, without all the counterparts that we knew her to be around at that time. And this was a chance for her to really shine as a rapper and stand her own ground. So of course we're talking about Lil Kim. And her third album, La Bella Mafia, came out March 4th, 2003. It debuted at number 5 on Billboard and was certified platinum shortly afterwards. It was led by the single To Jump Off, produced by Timbaland. Project contains features from Missy, Twista, 50, Styles P, to name a few. Some production from Kanye West, Scott Storch, Kid Beats, Havoc, also to name a few. And this was a defining moment for Kim in a lot of ways. Like I said before, like she used this time to really show that she could define her time as an MC and stand out on her own. What did you think of this of Kim around this time?
So when this project came out, I didn't listen to I listened to the main songs, but I didn't live with this album. So revisiting it was tough because this album sucks. And like I was just like, damn, man, like Lil Kim, I think Lil Kim didn't stand out like yeah, she stand out on her own, and in the interview she said that this was the most creative freedom that she had. And I think that was the bad thing. I think that was the problem. I think the problem is that this project, she kind of had like a lot of her own ideas, and I don't think that it worked out. I didn't work out for me. Let me not say it didn't work out for her, because I mean she sold a bunch of records, third platinum album. But I just like this album just wasn't a good album, and it paled in comparison to Hardcore and the Notorious K.I.M. If I'm measuring up against her own projects, I want to say that like off rip, there's like 4 records that I can like go back to and listen off of this album. But during this time, I believe like she was like getting like, working in the studio with different people. I believe she was dating Scott Storch at this time.
Yeah,
she was trying to go more pop. And trying to, she was trying to like go forward with the sound, but like it just sounded like, all right, I made a joke to myself. Every time she mentions B.I.G. on this album, I should take a shot.
Yeah.
Like she really rode Biggie's coattails. And I'm just like, I get it. He just, he discovered her. He put her on. She wants to honor him and everything like that. But it was just like, yo, come on. Like, and like there's a stark difference in like her rapping style. Like I know that Kim does write, but I also know that Kim does have help. And like the people that she had around her helping her, like she should have got better writers in to help her. Like I just wasn't impressed with this project. Like I was very disappointed to go back and like listen to it. Cause when this album came out, I was, 12? I don't know. No, I wasn't 12. I'm lying. I'm lying.
I was in
we were in high school.
Junior, so yeah.
Yeah, we were juniors in high school. So when this project came out, I didn't give it like a full on listen to. So I did not live with this project. I know the jump off was dope. I love the videos, you know, make a Sprite can disappear in the mouth and everything like that. But I just was not a fan of this album. Like I listened to it and I was just like, she put this out and was happy.
Yeah. So when this project came out, I remember buying this the same day that I bought Street Dreams when it came out. And I really liked this project because at the time, because she worked with a lot of people that I really fucked with. I mean, all these people that she worked with
Dream Team
had an amazing year. Like 50, Kanye produced on here.
Yeah.
Timbaland, Havoc. Like you got production from Havoc outside of Mobb Deep. Like it just wasn't a common ground at that time. So I was all in, and I think the the project now in hindsight, it sounds a lot more dated than back then. Back then it was very much of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, the Jump Off is a classic song. But even hearing that now, I'm like, all right. But it's a classic song. I think Kim, I was just rooting for Kim because she was standing on her own. And like, how could you not, root for that? So I wanted to see what she did with it. And I just remember some of the interviews she did back then was a lot of that. It was a lot of her just talking about, I mean, she got a track on here called Heavenly Father that we'll get into like at some point. But that track, that track encompasses the reason for this album. Like she talks about being on her own, being loyal, and like if you're familiar with Kim's history as a rapper, she talks about that a lot. And even just her career, like she talks about just how loyal she is, and she shows it. Like, she did time behind her loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
So all in all, revisiting it was interesting. I mean, there are some standouts on here, I mean, the intro dials back right into the Biggie thing, like you just mentioned, because it's literally a Biggie snippet.
Yeah, you would be drunk if you had to take a shot.
It's literally
a Biggie reference.
It's literally a Biggie snippet where he's talking about how hardworking she was and how his plan was to make it to the top, open the door, and pull his other people in. And him mentioning like, yo, Kim is a hard worker, so she came through right away. And she like runs that part back, and I'm like, yeah, girl, do that. Like, you got the best rapper best rapper at the time of, co-signing you. So she leaned into that. And then we lead into Hold It Now, which is produced by Havoc.
Mm-hmm. Nice flip on the BC.
Nice flip on that shit. And she went in. I think the later half of it, where it's like the radio segment.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I was talking about off mic who was.
Oh yeah, I think that this radio segment that she did on this album definitely inspired Queen Radio. It does bother me how Nicki Minaj pretty much erases the fact that like Lil Kim is like her main influence and goes to say Foxy. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna make this clear. When girls tell me that Foxy Brown and Eve was their favorite female rappers growing up and their inspiration, I understand, but no, Kim was Kim. Like just because I'm trashing this album, you're not going to sit here and tell me that Kim was not the end all be all before Nicki Minaj came around.
Yeah,
like Kim was it. She was the blueprint. She was the 1st. So you can't say like like what iconic moment. Like I get it. Eve did great. Yeah. Eve did great, and so did Foxy, but neither one of them hold a fucking candle to Lil Kim.
And you know what it is? A lot of them say that because they just feel like they're the underdogs. So they got to say them because Kim is the obvious answer. But it's like Kim is the obvious answer for a reason. Like she's a fucking trailblazer. She started a lot of this shit.
Kim is Jordan.
Yeah, she started a lot of this shit. And we know how like how cliche it is for people to say Michael Jordan's the greatest. So in this case, it's the same thing, but it's for a reason.
Right.
It's for a reason. What else on here? Doing It Big. How'd you feel about that?
Shit sucks.
You weren't like Doing It Big? The beat was dope.
The beat was good. I wrote that. The beat is cool, but I'm just like, nope. Another.
This song sucks.
This song sucks. Another Biggie reference. Take a shot.
It's so 2000s too. When you listen to it, no. This is it's not. It doesn't scale. It's not a good representation for this album at all.
Nah, man.
And then the jokes really, really start. Can't Fuck with Queen B.
I liked her flow on that.
It's a slap in the face though, because I like it too, but it's a sample of like one of my favorite songs by Denise Williams called Free.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I love that fucking song. So like seeing what she did to it, and and her version is produced by Full Force, which is crazy.
Right.
For those that don't know Full Force, if you watch House Party,
the big muscular nigga, kick your
fucking ass.
Yep.
But yeah, I like what she did with it. It was a bit of a risk, but then the jokes just keep going because Hollywood skit. She got like these little kids singing, right? And then I lead in the Shake Your Bum Bum.
Yeah, oh man, that is some bum bum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit is
what the fuck?
Yeah. So Kim had an artist at the time called Lil Shanice.
Yeah.
And Lil Shanice, we never heard anything that she put out other than the 3 songs that she did with Kim. Like I went and I looked at her history as a rapper. That's it. She's only been on this album, Notorious K.I.M., and I think that's it. Like she's only been on those 2 albums, but she was Kim's artist. So wherever you are, Lil Shanice, I hope you're okay. What else? Is there any standouts for you?
Song with her and Styles P is a standout.
Yes.
That song is the best song of the album, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I get it. I get the jump off and the magic stick are like instant, but the song with her and Styles P is the one.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. I think, let me see. What's my standout? My favorite is Came Back for You, because I still play that.
Because she dissing motherfuckers on that?
Yeah, she talking her shit.
She's talking breezy.
The beat is crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's produced by Kanye. And it just comes on. They say, what is it that you want? It's a minx chinchilla. Like it just she sounds so good on that shit. The production is so crisp. She cocky. She talking her shit.
Kanye is good to make a beef record.
Yeah, he is.
And it's very slept on that.
He do a beef record and hot his hands.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I remember when Kanye rapped over this beat actually, and it was called I'll Fuck Lil Kim.
There's an interview I heard saying like, it's so funny when Lil Kim talks about people because she makes everybody sound like a little kid or like a child.
Yeah.
And
she stuns everybody.
Yeah. And she was like, yeah. And Kanye kept saying, I want to sign to you. I want to be signed with you, Lil Kim. Like you would sign to B.I.G. and everything. And I was like, man, Kim will have Kanye fucking murdered.
Yeah. For real. But no, I Came Back for You was dope for a lot of reasons. She's talking her shit. She sounds fed up with a lot of these women in rap. She goes at Foxy for the up team time. She goes at Eve on here. What was the guy made Adam? You should have made Kim, that line. And she just sounds amazing.
She does.
Like she sounds really, really good. She talking her shit like from the top of a mountain. It's great. Magic Stick. There's a lot to say about that one. So I remember when Magic Stick came out, and it was big on the radio back in Detroit, and they were playing it on the radio over
50 Cent, yeah, they were. I was between here and Atlanta. It was getting played everywhere, but I can't, like 50 Cent has given away.
He gave this away.
If 50 Cent would have been selfish, show he would have 2 classic albums back to back.
And at this time, they will play this and they will play his remix to Work It with Missy. They will play that back to back on the radio. But Magic Stick was interesting because I don't know what it was, but 50 and Kim had like a fallout.
Yeah, there was like a dumb falling out. Like it was, and I want to say it was over the video. Like 50 wanted a certain amount of money or some shit like that. Like some dumb shit. And then like they reconciled, and then like he talked about her daughter. Like, and it's like, yo, my man, like
it was a lot of shit. And then I remember she performed at the BET Awards. And it was so awkward because she did the jump off, but then she switched to Magic Stick and 50 didn't come out. And she was like, 50 couldn't be here, but we rocking. And 50, I remember this distinctly because 50 was in the crowd. He was in the crowd.
I don't remember
like, 50 is at this award show. Like, why is he not? And she was like, yeah, 50 couldn't be here, and the camera didn't pan over to 50, but he was 100% there because I think he like presented later that day. It was weird. But like I just always wanted this song to be bigger for them, and it could have been, especially with a video.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what 50 has against Lil Kim, but like he's very mean to her.
Yeah, he is. And what else is a mess on here? Oh, this is a warning. It remakes the R. Kelly
Yo,
song,
bro, like
and she's singing.
yeah, I know.
Sing.
And she talked about that. She was like how like she wanted to sing more on these projects, you
Mhm.
know, and everything. I just think that she had created like all right, third album in, like she already proved herself with the first two. She's just doing whatever she wants. And like I just think it was just all bad ideas.
Mhm.
I think that her not letting Puff executive produce this album was a mistake.
Yeah, she had stepped away from Puff at the time.
Yeah, like I just think that was a mistake. And I think that she kind of like was kind of all over the place. And she just did not she didn't like do a good job. Like Missy is one of her best friends. Like, why not work with Missy
Mhm.
on this album if you want to sing?
Yeah, and Missy was on. Yeah, that's a good call out. Missy's on "Can You Hear Me Now," and she only does the chorus. I actually wrote in my notes like, "Yo, Missy could have added a verse and made this song
Missy,
way better."
I think Missy, if she didn't want to work with Puff, she could have worked with Missy and let Missy executive produce this album. And I think it would have went on a way better journey. I just think that like him was trying to like make hits opposed to like making an album.
Mhm.
Like she was just trying to make hits and like get shit out there, and like it just didn't work. Like it seemed like whatever she was trying to get across on this project, like it went over my head.
Yeah, and I
Like
think even outside of her trying to make hits, I think she just was trying to prove mostly that she can stand on her own.
yeah, she could, but it's like all right, the album is La Bella Mafia. Why is there no mafia
That's
theme
true.
to the project? Why are you not talking like why are you not giving us? Why are the skits not like mobster skits?
Mhm.
Like it just didn't make
It's just a
sense.
name.
Yeah,
It's dead as just a name and a cover.
yeah.
Cover is hard. I always love the cover of the album. The cover is dope, but there's nothing that plays into this name on the album. There's nothing that continues her legacy. It's kind of just records, you know?
Yeah, man. Like I just, I forgot what song was it that she had a song. There's a song where she's talking about like all like her like luxurious things, whatever, like that.
Oh, um, I mean, there's a lot of the songs, but
Is that the Beehive one?
I think that is Beehive. I
Yeah,
like
Beehive.
Beehive.
Like the beat is dope, but I'm just like this is all I'm saying. I was like, like, and you wanna know what's funny? At this time, she was cool with John Gotti's daughter. She could have got John Gotti's daughter to open the album
Mhm.
and talk about, family and loyalty and shit like that. It's so much shit that she could have did, and like nobody around her told her this shit.
Yeah, she shouts out Versace and all and everything like
She could have
shout out
like
to yeah.
I feel like she didn't dive into it enough. Like Donatella Versace is like her friend.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? She's friends with fucking whatever her name is, Gloria Gotti or whatever, John Gotti's daughter.
You know what's
Like,
crazy? Like she a lot of the shit that like Rick Ross wishes he had the type of plugs that she had. Like because he dials up that lifestyle
yeah,
in such a crazy way and Kim actually has these connects
yeah. All of them. Rachel
authentically.
Cavalli, like
Yeah.
all of these designers, they all
They
love
all
Lil
fuck
Kim.
with her.
Yeah.
And she has these authentic connections and I think that's probably it too, right? That she has these authentic connections. She don't want to ask them for favors.
Yeah, it's probably like I get it. Like, when you're actually friends with some people or whatever like that, like, you kind of just do your own thing. It's like the worlds are separate. Like, we're actually friends. So, I get it. But
Yeah.
I just feel like there was a lot of missed opportunity on this project.
I
Like,
think so too.
I think that this album could have been incredible. I just think it wasn't as concentrated as she needed to be.
Mhm.
And I think that the team around her should have spoke up and like
Yeah.
stepped in because it could have been a lot better on
Yeah.
it. But this album was hard to get through for me.
Yeah.
Compared to hardcore that I can just listen to.
Mhm.
Like that, that's my beef. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, this is the worst female rapper album of all time. It's just that like for her standard, this album was fucking shit.
Yeah. But Kim has had an interesting career, right? Because I think she's one of those artists that her legacy is bigger than her music. Because as an icon, like we know when people think of Kim, there's a lot of different things that they connected to. And sometimes the music isn't the first thing. So it's like you'll think about Chanel, or you'll think about the Crush on You video, or you'll think about Biggie, or you'll think about fashion, her just walking the runway, or her titty being out at the awards. Like she has so many iconic moments. And then there's the music. Sometimes the music is secondary. I feel like there's a lot of Lil Kim fans that don't even think about this album. A lot of them just still talk about hardcore.
As they should.
Yeah.
I like to
They don't think about this album. They don't think about Notorious K.I.M., even though that one had some really, really big songs on there for her.
Notorious K.I.M. was that shit.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, it's she has an interesting legacy because she's impacted so many. That's probably another thing too. Like her legacy has felt different because we see how it's inspired generations. You know?
Yeah, no, like she is the blueprint.
Yeah.
She is the blueprint. Like before that, it was MC Light and Queen Latifah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and obviously there were more female rappers, but I'm just saying like those were like the
ones
pillars.
That were the blue. Yeah. They were the blueprint for a different time, different type of female MC.
Right. It wasn't about showing body and sex and everything.
And Kim was like, "Yo, fuck it. Like I can be intelligent, I can be flashy, I can be fly, and you still gonna respect me because I'm a be in charge of it. That shit is fly." But you want to get to you want to get to the rating?
Yeah, I give it 2 waffles out of 5.
Okay.
Disappointed.
Disappointed?
Yeah, I was disappointed because, like I said, I didn't really live with this album. So going back, I'm like, oh well, Kim don't miss, you know. And it's funny, I don't know why, because I didn't live with this album, but I lived with The Naked Truth. And The Naked Truth made like more like The Naked Truth is bad, but The Naked Truth made sense because it was her going to prison.
Bad?
It was her going to jail album. Well, compared to her other catalog.
Okay.
Like The Naked Truth is like her 3rd best album.
Naked Truth got 5 mics in the source. I remember that.
She paid for that.
You think so?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's like a huge controversy.
Really?
Yeah.
So
that was truthfully like the downfall of people not fucking with the source.
At the time, I remember because Benzino was still at the source.
Yeah.
I remember it being, or at least all this time, I thought about it being the fact that she was going away, and it was like an honorary, like one of those like yeah, you're going away, we fuck with you, 5 mics. But I remember when it getting 5 mics, I was like, oh, I gotta hear this, and I went on LimeWire and I downloaded it.
I bought it.
Yeah, I downloaded it. I listened to it. Lighters Up was big. But I listened to the album and I remember enjoying it. I just don't remember thinking it was 5 mics worthy. But she had yeah. She had some good songs on there.
Makes me so mad.
Yeah. I was like, damn.
That was when payola for things like that started becoming prominent and people started talking about it because people was like, ain't no way in fucking hell that this project, because you gotta think about how many projects that came out that didn't get 5 mics. And like on the first go around, like, they actually had to go back and like apologize. So College Dropout didn't get 5 mics.
That's so interesting. What did they get? Did they get 4?
I think it got like 4. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, The Naked Truth got 5 mics off the first listen. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I did, and
damn it, was 22 songs.
Yeah, 22 songs. Like, I enjoyed that album, but that's what I'm saying. The Naked Truth made more sense because it was addressing things that she was going through, and like it worked for her versus the Bella Mafia. That I'm big. Like, if you give a project a specific name, I kind of want it to touch on that.
On that a little.
Yeah, like she just named it the La Bella Mafia and had nothing to do with the fucking mafia.
Yeah, just cause
like nothing. And I know the Bella Mafia was her new crew. It was like the female leg of the Junior Mafia. I understood what it was, but like it didn't tell me shit about the La Bella Mafia.
And you wasn't launching new artists on here. You just had Lil Shanice.
Yeah. So that was just like my thing. Like, that was my beef. But what's your rating?
Yeah, I'm a rock with a 2.5. I think Kim.
Regg gotta go to Brooklyn again.
I think Kim. I'm gonna go with a 2.5. I think there are some highlights on here. So the songs that I like, I really enjoy. Like I already mentioned, Came Back for You, Heavenly Father. If you don't take anything else away from this album, like, and you don't want to do like the singles, I would say Heavenly Father gives you a really good synopsis of what this whole album is supposed to be. Like, even just the existence of this album, you listen to a song like Heavenly Father and it'll give you that because she talks a lot about the breakup. She gives you 5 verses on that shit. She talks about the breakup of, Junior Mafia and how she tried to hold it down. Like, she really goes in depth, like, and I like shit like that. But there are some songs on here that I really like, but for the most part, it's a lot of skippable shit. And it's like, if you're trying to prove that you can stand on your own, it's too many jokey songs on here that just don't need to be here.
There's 13 bad songs on this, right?
It's out of 16. Holy shit. Yeah, I think you might be on par though. But there's some songs on here that I really liked, you know. But unfortunately, it's not a good representation of Kim's legacy. I mean, Jump Off is great for her legacy, you know. And there's some other moments on here, but it's far and in between. You know, if you want to get a very good synopsis of Kim as a rapper, this is an album that you can skip. But, you know, for your own frame of mind, revisit it. Let us know what you think. I'm First Class Regg.
I'm Taurian B.
We're out of here.
Catch you guys next time.
Give me your fucking money!
Dun dun.